Hey guys, what's up? So, this is actually, believe it or not, I don't know when this video will post, but this is our first video on this channel, besides the moving to Alaska video that I'm shooting in Alaska. So, I know you can't really tell, but it's pretty cold outside. Well, kind of. It's 18, it's not really that cold. Anyway, we are going to be putting on this SB brace, right? I've seen these before for a while in different places, but they're like never in stock, and I finally got one in stock. We're going to put this brace, on this piece of work right here. I think it'll be cool. This guy has had a traditional brace kind of thing like this, and this is fine, but having a folding brace that I think aesthetically will look better on this guy, I think that'll be a better deal. So, without further ado, let's jump into it, get to doing some crazy stuff. All right, let's do it. I believe I got the brace from Brownells. They actually had it in stock. That was cool. So that's the brace itself. This little fella right here, and then I got this little stock adapter thing. I can't remember where. I'll put it up somewhere because I really can't remember. It was not CNC Warrior. They had one like it, but it wasn't in stock. And this is a different one that was in stock. That this one is made. This is a 1913 adapter, or yeah, 1913 rail adapter. This guy's made for a pre-drilled PAP M92, and mine's not pre-drilled. So I don't know what the major difference is. It looks like it should just work. Right? It really does. I might find out here in just a minute that it doesn't work, and I'm going to scrub this whole video. Or just use it as a short demonstration of make sure you do your research before you go buying products. But I think it should work. So we're going to try to put this guy on. He's basically going to fit onto the back of here, like so, and make a 1913 rail on the back, which will allow this feller to basically lock in there like that. Which will look really cool, and I think it would make it a little bit more practical. So let's get to measuring some stuff. I'm gonna have to measure the hole, figure out what size drill bit, figure out exactly where to drill, double, triple, quadruple check my measurements, because once you drill, you're done. I don't have a welder, I can't patch a hole, so hopefully it works out fine the first time, and it will go in just fine. Screw in, lock tight, and it'll work. Right? It's never that simple. So yeah, interesting to see what troubles await. So let's do this. X marks the spot. Should technically mark the spot. Yeah. I know there's no way for you to see it in there, but if you could see down in that hole that I can see the X, right? I can see where everything lines up on the inside. I'm sure it doesn't show up in camera, but I can see that there's the X on the inside. So that should be center. Let's get a center punch and bust out some drills. There. Yep. Yep. Yep, right there in the middle. There we go. There we go. Alright, so now we finally got the hole drilled out. That took forever and a day. I tried to step it up little by little, and I didn't scratch anything too bad. No, and so we got the hole drilled out back here, as you can see, and it does seem to align properly, but now we just got to fit everything, because this guy's got some wings on the sides. So he's got these little wings on the sides. They kind of clamp around the outside, and some of the receiver is some of the edges are a little flared out. I'm not going to file anything, at least I don't think I'm going to have to, but I'm just going to try to fit everything in there to make it as snug and clean of a fit as possible. Should end up looking something like that, all right? And then we'll feed in the screw from the other side, tighten it down, Loctite it. We got to treat this, get some bluing or blacking on here so this doesn't get all rusty and nasty. But all things considered, I think it's turning out all right. All right, let's keep doing it. All right, I thought I got rid of all my bluing. Thankfully, I did not. So we're going to get a little bit on this little dirty thing. And hopefully, that's enough to do what it needs to do. Clean out that hole. Yeah, blacken it up a little bit. Because what you don't want when you do stuff like this, if you pull out a drill or a Dremel or something, and you get to cutting on steel, and you don't treat it afterwards, especially depending on your environment and everything, dude, you're gonna rust the crap out of that thing, and you don't want to do that. You don't want to mess with that, because then your fancy, nice new little thing might look good, but then it's like having a rusted out frame of a car, where on the outside it might look good. You might be able to pass it off and sell it to somebody, some idiot that didn't know how to check a car for rust. Don't ask me how I know about that. But you don't want to have to do that. So treat the little spots. That's why ultimately this would be best to get this thing Cerakoted at some point. I probably will. I don't know. I kind of like the classic look of it, but get it treated. Don't just cut stuff and leave it be and think that it'll be all right. Be like, oh, it's an AK. It'll be fine. Well, it might. Or you could end up opening it up one day and finding it full of rust, and that cool firearm you had now is a piece of junk. You don't want to do that. All right. So clean that guy up a little bit. Yeah, hopefully you can kind of see that. Kind of blackened it up a little bit, and we'll let that sit for a second, wipe it off, oil it up, and then finish installing. Alrighty guys, I looked high and low, and I don't know what happened to my stinking Loctite. This is what happens when you move. Pieces and things and stuff get lost and put all over the place, so who knows where it is. I'll just have to get another part of it. I'll bet Matt took it, because Matt loves Loctite. He puts way too much Loctite on his stuff. I'm always going to give him a hard time about that. No, I know I didn't take it. I used it on the way up here. I'm sure it's somewhere, but I'll get another bottle of it. Stuff's not expensive. Anyway, but you should use Loctite, especially on stuff like this, because it's going to come loose, all right? But let's just move on for now. I'll come back later off camera whenever I get some and put it in. But we're going to feed. You can look through here. Can you even see through there? Maybe, maybe not. Right down in here, there should be a hole. We're going to feed this. Ooh, it's going to be tight down in there. Feed this screw down in there. Maybe that's why this is supposed to be for pre-drilled. Maybe it won't work after I already drilled everything out. That'd be about right. I don't know. Okay, so he's in there. One little thing to check on stuff like this is aluminum. This is not steel. The screw is steel, so you gotta be careful not to cross thread and over thread, or cross thread, not over thread, cross thread things. And the screw will screw in this way. It needs to come back in this way, and it can almost get through on this side. If you can see that, too much light and reflections of stuff and things, but it almost comes through over here. But it's a little gnarled up on this side. All right, on the threads on the inside. So instead of working at a disadvantage trying to install this and work it through, I'm just going to not re-thread, but I'm going to make sure everything goes through this way, because I can't get that torque on the screws coming back through on the other side, if that makes any sense. That didn't make any sense. That totally didn't make any sense. Alright guys, so there you go. That's the end result that we have right there. I like it. I like it a lot. I think it turned out very, very well. Honestly, I forgot to hit the record button on my outro earlier when I originally did this. This is a couple days after putting this brace on, and I've played around with it a little bit. I haven't been able to shoot it yet, but it's solid, dude. It's very, very solid. It looks like it was made for, well, it was made for this, but it really fits very, very well. Folding everything up, it keeps it nice and tight. It's not like sticking out way far like if I put an AR-15 like buffer tube adapter, kind of like it was before. It was a lot thicker. This is like really thin, like really, really thin. If you look down at the profile of that, I know that just shows the stock, but it's still very thin. There's not big bulky chunk things sticking out the side. If you can see this, it looks like the brace is just barely angled out one way. It favors the shooter's right-hand side, so the right-hand side of the gun, just a fraction of a hair, not enough to really notice anything, so I'm not really worried about that. But even when you lock it down, right, when you lock it up like this, it looks nice and flat and level. So I'm perfectly fine with that. It's really nice. Anyway, guys, if you have any questions about this, let me know. I'm going to continue, well, once I find a place to go shoot and do stuff like this, I'm going to shoot this and see how it feels and how it functions. And I still need to find my Loctite, because I still don't know where that is. It's buried amongst the stuff somewhere, I'm sure. But I'm going to Loctite this thing down, because that's one thing I know. Like right now, I mean, it's solid. There's no wiggle in that at all. But once you get to shooting these things, this thing, it's kind of chunky, right? Big old bolt and everything flying around. It's going to work itself loose, I'm sure, at some point if I don't lock it down, so I'm going to do that. Anyway, if you have any questions about this, let me know. I'm going to shut up about it and let y'all go, all right? Appreciate y'all watching, subscribing, and everything, and hopefully we'll catch y'all in the next video.